Hi, team. Welcome to 10 Talks. So, today it's all about Rye, our professional volleyball player, sharing with us her first W, which is so exciting. The first game and a W, and just so much fun on this journey. And, team, our desired outcome of our 10 Talks is real conversation so that we can really talk about going for the dreams that you want and what's holding you back. What can we do to support you? And so, Rye, share with us your 10 moments about this dream coming true and you getting your first W.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of 10 moments going on because I'm focusing a lot on those 10s, but definitely a 10 moment was our game on Saturday. Um, we battled, like we won the first two, we lost the other two, and then we ended up winning on the fifth. But the way we come up in the fifth set, sometimes you would think like, oh, the energy drops, but as soon as we went in, like our energy was still very, very, very high. And that was such a 10 moment for me. And I want to call that 10 moment fighting spirit.
I love that. And so, right, let's just talk about how to have a fighting spirit in our life. I know that you're on the volleyball court and you're doing it. I just feel like in life, so many times we win a couple things, we lose a couple things. We've got that fifth match if we're using the volleyball analogy. And do we come at it with a fighting spirit, or do we give up or surrender or just think maybe it's not worth it? So, how do you come out in the fifth set really energized, focused forward, and going for it?
I think understanding that it's volleyball, it's going to happen, and we shouldn't feel ashamed of our game because, first, we are in one of the best leagues in the world. Like, no teams are going to give up, like, they're all going to fight. And us understanding that, okay, like, we won the first two, they won the second, the other two sets. Now it's time to bring our best game in order to finish and get that win. So yeah, just understanding that it's just volleyball. It's not about winning or losing. It's like how show your best when your best is needed. Be competitively great. So that's what we did.
Well, and so many times we need to do the same thing in our lives, even though yours is just volleyball, ours may be life and it is valuable and it is important. But every day it's a matter of, are we winning according to our heart and what we want? And to me, that's what really helps get me out of bed and makes my competitive greatness really intentional, is that it's about going for what matters to me versus maybe what other people want me to do or what I feel like I should be doing. So, how are you managing personally just being away from home? You're away from your husband, you're in a new environment. Yes, it's Italy, and yes, it's fabulous, and you're going for your dream. And yes, there's that humanness.
Yeah. Um I think I'm focusing every day in me. And sometimes when you're in a long distance relationship or you're very close to your family, you try to live two lives, the life that you're living here and the life that you want to live while everyone is at home. Like you want to be part of that as well. And that's not possible. That is simply not possible. So just focusing on myself and being very intentional in things that I need for my heart to feel completed. So that is something that I've been working on every day, intentionally choosing things that uh, can make my heart happy, can make me feel that I won my day, and just focusing that I'm here to work and how can I be better as well on that.
And Rye, the tool of seasons is really valuable when we are going for something that's big and it's stretching us, pushing us out of our comfort zone, really being able to have a beginning date and an end date so that we can be intentional with our investment of time, energy, emotions, just knowing that this isn't forever. This isn't the way we're going to be. So, when you're really being intentional about discovering you on your own right now, usually you're at home with family, you're juggling being a sister, being a wife, being, a sports life coach, and being a volleyball player, and just being all these things. You now have this moment in time to really be intentional about discovering you as a professional volleyball player. So, what sports life coaching tools are you using in your daily life to just get better and better every moment?
Oh, I'm using 10 moments a lot in stats. That is one of my favorite tools. I did use the season one already for me, for my brain to understand. Okay, like this is just for this period. It's not that I'll be here forever. And during this period, I'll have my husband will come and visit, so that will keep me with a lot of energy every day. Another tool that I've been using is rituals and routines, just to get, my day set up into practicing, resting, joy breaks, working time, practice again, spending time with my friends. So having that organization and discipline in my rituals and routine has helped me a lot. And competitively great. That's that tool of competitive greatness is amazing. And I started journaling as well, just to get a lot of thoughts out of my mind. And one of the things that I did journal was that. And one of my truths is I want to stay disciplined. And I have it written down. I want to share it with you guys. So this is my new notebook. For everyone who knows me, I love notebooks. So yeah, one of my truths, I want to be dedicated and into investing my time and my energy in the present moment. I want to stay curious with an open mind for me to learn from cultures, my teammates, and everything else. Give hope. I feel like give hope is such an amazing special tool just to live in your philanthropic dimension, just to give hope. Find your 10's. So even going on the street, Scarlett, I'm looking everywhere just to take pictures, enjoy the view. And that's what I did this morning. This morning I woke up and I was so tired. I was oh, the week is getting me, jet lag still getting me. But I was on my way. It was after my morning practice already, and I was on my way home, and I just saw this little spot with a beautiful view that I just stand there for 10 minutes just looking at it. I was this is a 10 moment. Just finding those 10 moments are giving me a lot of energy. And yeah, that from Faith, I'm using a lot Got You Go First. That just gives me a lot of peace, and that is something that I learned with you. And love is just love is so powerful that it makes everything better. So that is something that I wrote last week into my little journal, my first page, because I really, really wanted to be anchor on that.
Let's talk about seeing 10s because that's something that we're so intentional about. And so, what does it mean to see a 10?
For me, seeing 10 is just things that just make me genuinely happy or bring a smile to my face. There's a dog here where I live, and I go out every morning looking for that dog just to give her, I don't know, a hug, kisses, something, just to spend even 5 minutes with that dog, because that is a 10 moment for me. First, I miss my dogs. I miss my baby so much. So having that dog, ever since I got here, it was a nice connection. The dog comes into my apartment, she sniffs everywhere, she sits down, and then she leaves. Those are 10 moments. And then I love taking pictures. So that's another 10 moment for me. And intentionally with my camera, finding spots that are okay, this is such a 10. It brings joy to my heart. Let's take a picture of this. And another 10 moment for me is just spending time with my teammates, going to dinner. For example, yesterday we went to dinner. That was such a 10 moment because I'm in this process of getting to know them, getting to spend time with them. And yeah, so those are a few 10 moments that I can think of that it's just things that make my heart happy. That's how I see it.
So, team, if you're wondering what it is about seeing 10s or even what these 10 moments are all about, it's really about intentionally focusing on what matters to you versus the noise of the world, or just even having your head in the phone, or, your mind someplace else. What a gift to really be present and to look around and to look for 10s, to look for views that make you happy, to look for a sunrise, a sunset, a color that matters, a connection that matters. We say see 10s, that's what we want. We want you to be able to see the 10s in your life, to be able to be aware of them, to notice them, and most importantly, to become more aware of the 10s than the ones and the twos. Sure, the ones and the twos are going to show up, but we want to train our brain to really focus on what matters to us and to become aware of what is a 10 for me and to really go on this adventure. Just like Rye is on an adventure, we all too can be on our life adventure of discovering what's a 10 for us. When you have breakfast, eating and thinking about what's my stat on this? Is this a 10 for me? No, I need more syrup on my pancakes, or, a little something. Just take the joy of making it a 10. And what a difference it is whenever our minds are on 10s versus on the struggles of the day or the cardio of the day, which is just the things that aren't so fabulous that we need to do to be disciplined or to be able to get those things that are important. So, Raya, as you've been discovering and creating your 10 life in Italy, let's talk about some of the performance barriers that show up, because certainly as beautiful as seeing 10s and discovering 10s, there's a struggle to really own that 10 in our life and to live that. So what have been some of your performance barriers?
Um, Performance barriers. Language. Language for sure. Not on the team. Everyone on the team speaks English, but where we live, nobody speaks English. So
Well, and
that has
English
been
isn't even your first language.
true that. So language has been a performance barrier. And an action to change that I'm doing, Carlette, first using Duolingo. And second, I started a course, an online course to learn basic Italian to at least understand or be able to communicate. Another language barrier has been jet lag. Jet lag. I was still fighting against jet lag. During the day, I am so tired. Like I try to wake up and I'm like, I cannot move. I want to stay sleeping. Da, 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 da. But action to change that I'm doing is like still forcing myself to wake up early and try not to rush things in the morning that I feel stressed, just giving me my time to do my morning routine. So as soon as I leave my apartment, I have more energy. So jet lag has been a really bad performance barrier. And then the pain in my body with all the workouts, the training, getting used to the routine again of being in the gym every time, twice a day, 3 times a day. So the pain in my body has been a performance barrier, and I'd be very, very intentional in the resting and recovery. I've included doing even 10 minutes of yoga so I can move my body and stretching or putting my legs up the wall, like doing things that I can connect fully with my body and can still give me good energy for me to continue.
So, team, that's another tool that you can practice is what is a performance barrier? A performance barrier is any barrier that gets in the way of you being able to be who you want to be, show up the way you want to show up, achieve what you want to achieve. And all performance barriers are somewhat created equal. So, hungry can be a performance barrier versus not knowing a language. Do you see they can be huge differences, but yet everything is just a performance barrier. And so, claiming it really neutralizes it, makes it somewhat manageable, or just feels a lot different. And so you claim whatever your performance barrier is. And then your next step is what's my action to change? So notice that claiming your performance barrier makes it real, makes you acknowledge it, you just own it. And then immediately by putting in what's my action to change, it's that forward focus. And that's actually what we're training our brain to do, is to go forward with an action, and to go forward with an action that's for us, that we've owned, we're claiming, we know that it's in alignment with what matters to us. And our day is full of tens and full of performance barriers. That's just how life goes.
For sure. And I love the action to change because it helped me focus on what can be a 10 for me instead of focusing on the struggle that I'm in. So yes, I'm having this performance barrier. Yes, I am struggling, but what can I do? So I can be a 10 again. So I like to connect both of them because it's like it goes hands in hand. Like we don't want to focus on the low stats or the struggle that we go, because once we still focusing on those, like it keeps growing and all we're going to focus is on the negative. Let's just put it like that. But if we focus on like, yes, I'm struggling, but this is how I can fix it so I can be a 10 all over again, then yeah, you're training your mind just to stay engaged with yourself and dedicated to yourself as well.
So, Rye, this is going to be week 2 that you're there. Are we starting week 3?
Starting week 2.
Starting week 2. Okay. So let's talk about your commitments to being competitively great and really being the person that you want to be. It's starting week 2. You have experienced the first week of, oh my goodness, just getting settled in your first game and playing and, you know, everything, just the language and being away from home. And now week 2 is somewhat settling into the routine. And we do this quickly in terms of here you are in your new life. So for week 2, what's your commitment? What do you want to go for this week?
For this week, good question, Carlette.
Well, watch your film and think about what you have ahead. So do you have games this week?
Yes, we have a game on Saturday.
Okay,
We're traveling on Friday.
right.
So for this week, I'm committed to keep pushing myself. Like instead of like, oh, my body hurts, like I don't want to do this. No, like it's time for me to push because eventually I will be a 10. So keep pushing through those cardios and understanding that they will get me to a 10.
So you're committed to keep pushing through. So what do you want to do to make sure that in the moments of, I don't want to do this anymore, you're anchored in being competitively great for yourself?
Remember my truth, my faith, and love. Because once I think about those, like I see my chip, like it completely changed, completely like, okay, no, we gotta do things. Let's go. Like there's a commitment in here. So I think thinking about my truth, my faith, and love will help me a lot.
And when do you want to focus on being competitively great?
Every day. Every day I want to show up as being competitively great and be my best self, being a 10.
And what performance barriers could get in the way of you pushing through and being competitively great?
It could be uh not having not probably mistakes in practice or not being my best self or focusing on negative. I think those are performance barriers.
So next week, if you have a mistake in practice or you feel negative or things aren't going your way, what's going to be your action to change?
My action to change will be I'm human. I'm human and I
Having
am
a human moment. Yeah.
yes. And I'm competitively great on harder times. That's gonna be my action to change. My
Yeah.
affirmations.
Yes. And who do you want to give hope to this week?
I want to give hope to myself and my teammates.
And how do you want to do it?
Uh just by serving and supporting myself as well and everyone. Like if I can serve and support myself into being a 10, then I can be a good teammate for everyone and I can serve and support them as well.
So, Rai, you and I just went through another one of our tools, our commitments. We wanted to always do that at the end of any of our sports life coaching workouts. Notice how it really somewhat summarizes our conversation. It helps to kind of just get you set up to go forward in a really strong, empowered way. And team, as we did the commitments, notice that we looked ahead and we thought about performance barriers that could get in the way. The reason that we do that in our workout is that we want to figure them out ahead of time. So when they show up, we already have our action to change. It's really simple. It doesn't take us off task. It doesn't make us start wondering, oh my gosh, I can't believe this human moment showed up. What am I going to do with it? Instead, when it shows up, it's somewhat neutral because it's like, oh, a human moment. And we just move on into what we want to be versus having it be a distraction and take us off of whatever moment we're in that we're committed to being a 10. So, Rye, what have you learned as a rookie sports life coach, just starting all of this to really understand the power of commitments?
Um, Sharing your commitments, it's very important. Saying it out loud. It's not in the cloud that you leave it. Oh yeah, I want to do this now. Like sharing it keeps you engaged into, I said it. Now I have to really commit and engage into what I want to do in order for my whole week to be a 10 so I can be successful in my week.
Well, and we call those champion commitments because we're claiming that we're going to be a champion for us and really owning every component of this really self-discipline, this life that we're creating. It's up to us. It's our life. It's our gift to the world. It's our 24 golden nuggets that we're giving away that we never get an opportunity to have these 24 hours back. And so making every day matter, making every moment matter, and looking for the 10s. How can we see 10s and really be in relationship with the people that matter to us, the dreams that matter? So, right, words of wisdom from week one.
Be patient. Be patient in the process. Sometimes we want things to happen quickly, and there's steps that needs to be taken care of in order for everyone to grow inside your process. So be patient, stay positive, learn about the competitively great tool because it's amazing and anchoring your truth and love and faith. And yeah, trust your process.
Beautiful. So, team, it's up to you. Go out and see 10s. Discover your 10s. Look for them. See what's a 10 for you. Love it, own it, enjoy it. Be competitively great for you. Remember, that's never against anyone, it's always for you. The way that we're competitively great is we anchor in truth. What is true? Our truth. Then we have faith, faith in ourselves, faith in our teammates, faith in the process, and then love. Love for the game, love for ourselves, love for our world, our team, whatever it is, go out and be a champion for you. And thank you for the honor of being on your support team. Thank you, Rye. Appreciate you being such a champion.
Thank you guys. I'm excited to keep sharing this with you.